All right, this is Johnny Boy at Fight Hype. I'm here with my guy, Bernie the Boxer. What's going on, man? How you feeling?
All is well. What's goody, man?
That's it, man. We in here, man. There was a lot of things happening, a lot of things to talk about. Now,
Mhm.
first, I want to get into, well, before we even get into anything, I want all of you to check out Bernie the Boxer on YouTube. His channel is jumping. I mean, you want to get real boxing content, Bernie the Boxer, THA, Bernie the Boxer. Go check out his show. He got the fire interviews. Everything's jumping on there. You got to go over there, people, first and foremost. Okay, now let's talk about the big topic. Terrence Crawford, the WBC going back and forth. I recently
Yeah,
interviewed Mauricio Suleiman. I wanted
yeah,
to get his thoughts, his response to Terrence Crawford. Terrence spoke about being upset of paying these high sanctioning fees. I've heard this story for many years about fighters talking about we have to pay all this money, we risk our lives on the line, and they're just sucking so much money out of us.
yeah.
Mauricio said he wanted to take the high road. He didn't really want to speak about it, but I wanted to know your thoughts. What do you think about this whole situation?
Well, I think Crawford is right in what he said. You know, I think he was justified, and it just shows how greedy the WBC is. Everybody's been going off on his tirade. He's been having a lot of supporters, but he also been having a lot of backlash at the same time. And the ones with the backlash are still not getting the whole story, which was that Crawford didn't mind paying him something. He just didn't want to pay him 300,000. He wanted to give him what everybody else got. And like he said, what makes them so much more special than any other sanctioning bodies? But the detractors won't even understand that. They don't even want to hear the truth in that sense.
Well, I mean, I heard like people supported both sides of the conversation. A lot of people supported Bud because they think the fighters are the one that's going out there risking it all. Their
Yeah,
health and everything. So
yeah,
some people they don't mind you taking some type of fee. It's a business. You have to make some kind of money, and a lot of that money, Mauricio, was spoken of or spoken talked to me about off camera that it goes to help individuals like fighters that for pensions and medical bills. And Gerald McClellan's sister, for example, he spoke
yeah.
about the WBC helping her brother, Gerald McClellan, for his
Mhm.
medical expenses and stuff. So, what do you think about that? Should we just need more transparency where the money's going, and then we can go and lower the fees maybe, and we can work together, or it's better just to have one belt, the Ring Magazine belt? What do you think, Bernie?
Well, I agree with one belt because in no other arena can you have more than one champion. There's no more than one champion in a
Hey,
division.
Bernie,
So
Bernie, I'm sorry, we can't see your face. Just you could turn it up a little bit. Yeah, a bit up more.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah, so there's only can only be one champion in one division. But again, somebody did some research about it. They showed it to me. They said that out of all the millions that they made, only like almost close to 1 million went to helping other fighters, which is still good. So where's the other money going? Then I was talking to a good friend of mine. They was telling me that a lot of it goes into the father's fund. What's his name? Jose Suleiman.
Oh,
A lot of it goes into his fund, and this guy is a old veteran in the boxing game. Been with a lot of legends, and so he was talking to me about that the other day. But I said this, Johnny, and you seemed like you wasn't listening to me. It wasn't the fact that he didn't want to pay. He decided he would pay something, but
no, I
why?
told Mauricio that. Yeah, I told Mauricio that.
Why is it that they deserve more than any other sanctioning bodies? And nobody can answer that question. The man did not say he didn't want to pay nothing. He didn't want to overpay. And nobody can understand that. And nobody
Yeah,
can even answer that question. Why should he overpay the WBC over the WBO? I mean, over the WBO, over the WBA, over the IBF. Why should he overpay for them? So,
I agree with that. I think that it should be one fee for all the organization. No one's better than anyone, and everybody gets the same amount. So I totally agree with that. But the transparency, we need to know where the money's going as well. I think that's a big topic. But do you think that it should be one belt, the Ring Magazine, and they control all of that, or do you think they might have too much power?
nah, because the Ring Magazine is free. The Ring
Okay.
Magazine is free. And if you know your history of boxing, you know that's where the belts. That's not where the belts started. but it was a big. They lasted the longest. They John L.
Right.
Sullivan was awarded a belt by the people. The people made a belt for John L. Sullivan when he was the first heavyweight champion. They awarded him the belt. Now, when the Ring Magazine came along, they awarded the first belts to Pancho Villa, who was the flyweight champion from the Philippines, and Jack Dempsey. So the Ring Magazine has with who founded it, Nat Flasher, who's just been a who has been a boxing advocate. Rest in peace to him. And the Ring Magazine just took on a life of his own, like everything else did. It gained legitimacy. It was the championship to win, and it was his 10 contenders. So the power is not in now. Also, I don't know how it was years ago, but from if you read the rules of the Ring Magazine, it's supposed to be a panelist of boxing so-called experts or whatever, and they come up with the rankings. You can't buy your way up the rankings. Like you can, like obviously Conor Ben did, or they did with Ryan Garcia. To be fighting for his championship now. So it seems to be the less bias. And again, when you have the Ring Magazine, you are the champion. Like I say, it doesn't make sense to have four champions in it's one division. How can you have four champions in one division? That's just like in baseball. You can have four uh National League champions. You
I
can have.
agree. I agree.
Okay, so everything what we talking about right here is just it should be common sense. But when you come with money, money can make things a little, muddy.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. But moving forward from that, there were talks of Crawford going into a rematch with Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah.
How do you think that's going to play out with this whole thing with the WBC? That'll work itself out, I think, because money usually makes things move around. And how do you see? Obviously, you think Terence Crawford is going to win the rematch against Canelo. Does he stop Canelo because he's so confident now in this rematch, and you think that he'll just walk through Canelo? I thought that he hurt Canelo several times throughout the fight. But what do you think?
I wouldn't put it past him. I think he knows what Canelo has, and there's nothing else that he can do. I seen him do. He was on some platform, and like he said, I think Canelo should go elsewhere. I don't think it's going to be any good for him. I think I just got the wrong style for Canelo, and if he wants to keep fighting, go somewhere else, which is true. I don't really believe that Canelo Alvarez is seeking a rematch. I think he has other ways he can go. He gave it his try, and he wasn't successful. So I know probably his pride would want him to do it, but his better mind would take over. And I think, like I say, the WBC does not have to be involved. I know he is from Mexico, but you know, the WBC wasn't fighting that night. It was Canelo Alvarez fighting that night. So if Canelo Alvarez, if he shouldn't need the WBC to go into any fight. He's a fighter first. He's not a WBC fighter or a WBO fighter or IBF fighter or any of that. He's a fighter. So I don't think he needs the permission or should need the backing of a certain organization to go get his get back. So it's totally up to Canelo, but I don't see the fight happening again.
Definitely. But Bernie, we got your face cut off. We just got to move you up a little bit. The camera up more. Yeah, perfect right there. That's perfect. I'm sorry about that, man. We got to get a better angle, better look for you. But so where does Bud go from here? He was supposed to go to 160 pounds. Those were the rumors of him going there. But where is he going next? What do you think is going to be his next fight?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you what else Crawford's going to do. Right now, he's at an all-time high and in and out the ring, and he's doing this global tour. He's getting into different forays. You know what I'm saying? He's getting his just due. Over. He's getting everything that he deserves, as far as the champion that he is, the accomplishment that he's been able to achieve, and the man that he is. So. He's just doing his thing right now. We just a few months removed from the fight, So I don't think we're talking about what's next. Obviously we had a dent in what could have been a unification fight with Janabek missing weight. So that opportunity of capturing another Ring magazine or possibly an Undisputed kind of fizzled out with that situation. So I really don't see anything that's appetizing for Crawford to pursue a boxing career. But if you know anything about a boxer, fighting is their life, and that's just what they do. No matter how much money or how much fame or how much they've achieved or how much you know. Even if they on the decline, fighters fight. So, I couldn't tell you what he's gonna do, but right now he's sitting pretty, and that's the way I would leave it if it was
Uh,
if it was me.
Definitely. I mean, Crawford, he's traveling the world. He's doing a lot of things. He was the most Googled fighter in 2025. He's on top of the world. His star is rising. So he's going to be in the next super fight. So we look forward to see him.